Welcome back. I'm Tiffany Meyer. In Pakistan, at least 12 people were killed and 27 wounded when a suicide bomber blew himself up in the country's capital. And in another development, a former hostage who was held in Iraq says President Trump's ultimatum helped free her from captivity. NTD's Jason Perry has the details and a warning. This report includes content that some viewers may find disturbing.
Screams were heard in Pakistan on Tuesday after a suicide bomber blew himself up near a courthouse in the country's capital of Islamabad. The explosion happened around lunchtime, and Pakistan's Minister of Interior said that at least 12 people were killed and 27 wounded. And he explained the moment before the person blew himself up.
The suspect stood there for 15 minutes. He even tried to enter the court premises, but failing to do so, targeted a police vehicle.
Another resident gave more details of what happened after that.
Parts of the suicide bomber's body flew into the courthouse. It was a huge explosion and people started to run. It resulted in chaos. It seemed like a scene from the Day of Judgment.
Pakistani officials accused neighboring Afghanistan of being complicit in the bombing and said they would retaliate if Kabul does not rein in the terrorists that Pakistan says were responsible. Afghanistan has denied the accusations, and the Taliban administration condemned the bombing. And in another development, an Israeli-Russian student explained how she was kidnapped by the Kataib Hezbollah terrorist group while she was on a research trip in Iraq.
Basically was dragged into an SUV by maybe two men who were basically grabbing me into the car. I resisted and I screamed, and they were passing through checkpoints. They were whispering to each other, Saitara, Saitara, checkpoint, checkpoint. So I knew, obviously, that they're not the state.
And she was held captive and tortured for over 2 years until, she said, President Trump sent an Iraqi-American, Mark Savaya, to Iraq with a message for the prime minister that said Trump was upset.
He basically made this ultimatum. You have to release Elizabeth within a week or we will bomb you. And the threat was incredibly effective because a week later I was released.
Meanwhile, in Israel, a former hostage, Hadar Golden, whose body was held in the Gaza Strip for over a decade, was finally buried after the Hamas terrorist group released his body. Golden's mother said this.
I truly have no explanation for how we did it, except that in every moment when we almost sank, there was someone in the family who would jump up and say, "But what would Hadar say?"
And the Israeli military blew up the tunnel from which Golden was kidnapped 11 years ago. Jason Perry, NTD News.